What's up? You just the girl I've been looking for. What's up?
I'm tired and I gotta go take care of my mom.
Richie.
Have you heard about the party tonight? I saw it on his Instagram.
Hey babe, I'm just leaving the office.
How about I take you to your favorite restaurant?
It's not a regular night. We hit this off right, we'll be next in line to be a member of their family business.
Get that babe, it must be Ye.
Ye didn't come back to the dorm last night.
Oh my God, Ryan. This isn't right. Something isn't right.
Mozzie, give me Ye's last location before her phone died.
As you wish, Mr. Snow.
I need all the details of last night. Turns out a lot of people have come up missing and their last location has been at that club.
My clients are in place for tonight's viewing.
We got a problem. Where the fuck is she?
Boom!
I'll die for mine if that's what it takes. Yo, what the fuck I just say, man?
I'm not talking to the ops.
This little girl, my little girl.
I need you to come back to me.
I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, welcome to the new Total Faith Show. I am your host. You know me. I'm getting those digits. Gene Ballard. This is the place where everyone has a story, but more importantly, we get a chance to share that journey with them. Now, I know you saw that trailer. I am so excited because for me, it reminded me of so many different of action and adventure and seeing our people on screen. But more importantly, story about human trafficking, which I don't think we talk about enough. My next guest is I got a list. He's a rapper. He's an entertainer. He's a director, a producer. He is the catalyst behind this iconic move, this iconic movie. This is what we're going to talk about today. My guest, Mr. Ronald Taylor, multifaceted talent. My man, Ron, how are you doing today, my brother?
I'm excited. Number one, I want to say thank you for allowing your platform to showcase my talents and my film. So I want to thank you for having me on the show. But I'm good. I'm having a great time. I'm happy to be alive.
My man, you are so much welcome. You know, I talked about, they saw the trailer, Meet the Snows at the beginning, and you know, I want to get into that. But first, I want to know about you and where did you get your start from? Where are you from? Talk to me about that.
Oh man, shout out to my home city, Parkway. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm from my neighborhood is considered Parkway stand up. And I just come from humble beginnings. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale. My mother, she worked hard. She was a nurse. My dad was he worked in a steel factory. And I had a lot of time to watch a lot of movies because they were busy. So that's what made me just love film. I've seen movies from the black and white days all the way up until now. So that's a little bit where I'm from. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, and I ended up in Atlanta. Got to Atlanta by way of college, and I was pursuing music and all that kind of stuff. And in the process, I seen that the film world was coming here, and I wanted to be a part of that too. Because entertainment is entertainment. When you're an entertainer, you want to do it all.
Did you rap in Fort Lauderdale, or did you become a rapper during that transition going to college in Atlanta?
Yeah, I did talent shows in Fort Lauderdale. Shout out to Triple X Posse and the Six Court Posse. So I rapped down there, and then when I came here to go to college, me and my brother was pursuing it real heavy. We started a group called the Underground Committee here in Atlanta, but I was rapping in Florida.
And from there, you get to Atlanta, and like I said, you have a lot of different titles under your belt. How did you transition into being on the big screen?
Well, Father Time, you know how it is, right? The music game is a young man's sport. So as I was approaching my 30s, I was like, man, I'm in it, but I ain't in it. I ain't T.I., I ain't Lil Wayne, I ain't, you know what I mean? So it was like, people knew I was doing my thing, but I wasn't moving to the way I wanted to. And so I was like, well, I'm getting older. I still want to be a part of entertainment. So I said, let me move over into the acting game. And I seen someone doing, it was crazy. They were shooting Neighborhood Watch. I'm not sure if you remember Ben Affleck? It was a comedy called Neighborhood Watch. They were shooting it in my neighborhood. And I was like, well, how do I get on set? And they was like, you got to go down to the church. And I didn't get a chance to be on that set, but they got me in something called Vampire Diaries. It was a show called Vampire Diaries. And I was just an extra. And when I was an extra, I seen all of the lights and the cameras and the big budgets. And I was like, wow, and it was just amazing, you know what I mean? And from there, they was paying me, what, $100 to just be an extra? I'm like, so you want to pay me $100 to watch all you guys do this? And y'all were feeding me? So they was feeding me too. I'm like, oh, y'all going to feed me and give me $100? So it was like, it was infectious to me. And then from there, I was like, I was doing more extra work. And I was like, well, I want to start speaking. Eventually, like, you see these guys in front of you saying all these great things. Like, I want to act. And so I started doing the independent route. And I reached out to Bobby Peoples. He gave me my first shot. And from there, it was just get that acting bug. Once you got it.
I want you to hold that thought, because when we're getting ready to go to break, but we come back, I want to talk about, because as an actor, you think about all the things that you went through in Fort Lauderdale and college and whatnot, and how do you hone what those experiences, and then I want to talk about how did you sit down and write Meet the Snows. Does that sound like a plan?
Sounds good.
All right, audience, don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. Total Faith Network. I'm your man, Gene Groove Allen. We'll be back. We are back with the great Ron Taylor, friend of ours, talking about his movies and his moves as a rapper, actor, entertainment visionary. Ron, before we went to the break, you were talking about you getting bit by the bug, becoming an actor. How did your experiences growing up in Fort Lauderdale, going to college in Atlanta, being a rapper, doing a lot of different things, how do you pull from that when you were on that screen?
It's almost like even when you're on stage as a rapper, you have to kind of act. You got to get hyped. You got to move the crowd. So taking that experience and putting that in the acting world came natural. It was natural, and then unfortunately, I have a look or a type, right? So they would give me bad guy, boss, drug dealer. I've seen these guys in real life. I can easily act and be these guys. So it was, it was easy. And then I transitioned. Some of the things that I want to do, what made me start writing was typecasting me, and I didn't like that. I was like, you know what? I want to be a hero. I grew up reading comic books. I grew up, watching the shows and stuff like that. So I wanted to put myself in a more positive light versus being the boss or the bad guy or the mob guy, So
I get it, because that's true. You tend to be typecast, and when you go to your auditions and whatnot, and you are typecast, that kind of changed you into writing your own story.
Exactly. That was the biggest thing that really pushed me into writing. I was like, you know what? I'm not getting the looks I want to be the lead. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm this guy. So I'm like, I want to be a lead, and the only way I saw it happening was to write it myself. And I've had plenty of scripts given to me over the 8 years I was acting. So I was like reading some of the scripts. I was like, it's trash. I can do better than that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what kind of pushed me into writing the movies.
Now, so let's talk about that. Meet the Snows. I know the like I said, action packed. I literally, it reminded me of so many great action packed, a little bit more because I saw where the characters, had this relationship, and almost like we going out there together and do that thing, and I love that piece of it. But it also talks about human trafficking.
Correct.
What gave you that motivation to focus on that story, not just the story, but actually the content of human trafficking?
Okay, so we'll do the two-part question. To me, it's two parts. In movies right now, we don't have good representation of Black people, in my opinion. Me personally, not hating on the movies or the series that's out. They're usually drug dealers. They're usually bad people. So I wanted to make a movie that the family had to come together to then go and rescue. And so, we can have Black heroes. We need real Black heroes back again. So that tied into around the time I wanted to do the film and make my own way into pretty much being an executive producer. Jeffrey Epstein was out. I'm not sure if you know that name, but he was doing a lot. He was at the highlight of the media. He was alive at the time, and it was just a very interesting story. So I'm a historian. Once I get into a story about sex trafficking, and it's just the details of how he was doing it and how intricate he was doing it, I went down a rabbit hole of just I was just learning. It just pissed me off because I love women and I don't want them to be, exploited the way that he did it. So that was like some of the catalysts to make me want to talk about sex trafficking, because I learned so much education on it, and I think
what did you find? What did you find exactly in regard when you started going down that rabbit hole?
Oh man, number one, it's a well-webbed organization of individuals involved. I don't want to get killed, but in my opinion, there was a lot of other people involved in key places. And this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. This is a trillion-dollar industry. You got to think, drugs can be sold one time, but when someone is human trafficked, they can be sold over and over and over again. So it was just like the way that it's really happening to this day. Like, it's not something that went away with him. He just was it kind of exploded and gave people a more open look as to what was happening. But to this day, people are still being exploited. And then I also learned that it's not just sex, it's human trafficking. So you have people who are workers, Chinas who are getting underpaid, you know what I mean? Not if not anything, exploited, you know what I mean? So this human trafficking thing is a well operation, and it's a lot going on involved. So that's some of the things I learned. It's a lot I can talk about, but I don't want to go too deep.
No. I understand. I definitely understand that. In terms of the people that have seen your trailers, what kind of feedback are you getting from people? Are people saying like, hey, I understand I was there, or I'm going to put that out there?
It was like I did again. I wrote this movie just to kind of highlight myself as an actor, right? Give myself a different look, become a hero. But in the process, when we were shooting the movies and going to different cities, people who were actually trafficked, survivors, we don't call them sex traffic victims, we call them sex traffic survivors. They were coming to my shows. We had one guy, his daughter had got kidnapped, and to this day, she's not found. And what he did, he walked from Fort Lauderdale to California as a way to bring awareness. He got wind of the movie. He came out. We was in Mississippi. We had a young lady that she used to be escort, if that's the word, you know what I mean? But she stopped doing it. And what she does is she goes out and she saves other escorts. She wrote a book. She got wind of it because we were on the news out there. She came out. So we're just meeting a lot. It's just a lot. It's really, it really got me behind the sex trafficking. I actually have some organizations that I'm assisting now because of the movie.
Wow, that I like I said, and it's not just a creative piece of work, but you're telling us and showing us that it's speaking to the people that are seeing it and helping change lives and bringing awareness. We're getting ready to go to break, but when we come back, I want you to talk about some of the specific characters in Meet the Snows, as well as how do they align with some of the people that from your dealings from Fort Lauderdale to being in Rapture. Because I think we all take something or add something or bring something to the table from people that we know. Would that be cool?
Follow me.
All right. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Oh, it's going to get better. Oh, it's going to get better. We're going to be back. Ron Taylor, Meet the Snows, Total Faith. Don't go. We'll be back.
Do you have a passion? Do you have a story that needs to be heard? Do you have an upcoming event? Do you have a business, product, or service? If your answer is yes to any of these questions, you can be a guest on The Total Faith Show. Click the Contact Us button, fill out the form, and we will get back to you. Thank you for entering into Total Faith Network. We walk in total faith.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you didn't go anywhere because we got more for you with my friend, Ron Taylor, from executive director, producer, and actor from Meet the Snows. Before we went to break, you were talking about the changes, just like how it's affected the people that see the movie, see the trailer. Now, I saw a lot of great characters in there, strong characters, especially the heroine, I want to call her. Tell me about characters that stand out, that are in your movie, but more importantly, how they relate to people that you know or that you've dealt with in the past.
Well, I don't want to give the movie away too much, but my wife is in the movie, and she is such a pivotal role in helping me get my daughter back in the movie. So it plays a role in my life, my real life. I have a lot of strong women in my life that pretty much I look to for guidance, for to help me push my business and stuff like that. So I had to highlight women. She pretty much she's actually one of the main stars. Her name is Vanity Snow. She's played by Priska Outland, and she does a phenomenal job for representing the women and the smart, educated women in the world.
Shout out to the smart, educated women in the world. Your daughter.
She does a great job. Yeah.
How did you find that actress?
Bree Poppy. Shout out to Bree. You know what? The universe did an amazing job. I will say this: when you're trying to do something of this magnitude and tell this type of story, I can't take too much credit. It was definitely a lot of God. It was a lot of connections to kind of make this thing happen. And a team. We did auditions. The same thing like everybody else. We did an audition. And my team, we did a good job honing in on who can really pull these characters and bring them to life. So we met her. We actually had someone else for the role, and they ended up getting, things happen, and we did another audition, and we met Bree, and she's perfect.
Yeah, she was phenomenal from the pieces I saw. Now, the villain in the movie, talk to me about the villain, and who does that remind you of in your own life, if anybody, or just a combination?
AK, shout out to Leslie Akioko. That's one of my bros. We actually met on the set of Black Panther. So a little tidbit about me, I'm a Wakandan. I'm one of the original Wakandans. When I was doing my extra work, I played a Wakandan Black Panther. So I met Leslie Akioko on that set. He had a better role than me, but we ended up becoming buddies, and I casted him. So he's a great guy. He's really a good guy in person, but he really pulled out the bad guy. That shows you that he's got good acting chops on him. And so I met him on Black Panther. Let's see, the bartender, Frederick Harper. He's a great guy. Actually, he's in law enforcement in real life, and he did a pivotal role after the movie, helping us, with organizations and things of that nature. He played the bartender. We got into the fight. If you didn't see the movie, when you see the bartender, me and him fight, he's a phenomenal actor and in law enforcement. So he's just a great guy. I try to keep a good group of people around me, mostly actors and executive producers and people in the film industry.
Positive energy. I want to talk about now like the business of making movies, because from what I saw, the trailer, the editing, the color, the sound, it was like definitely, high end, big budget. How did you find the financing that you needed to make this happen, to make it come to life?
Or we got that, you know, I won't go into detail with the finances, but I'll say we got creative. And it was around COVID, you know, so there were, you know, different programs that was going on around that time. And just got creative with it with the funding. And I just realized when it comes to making film, because I've been doing film for about 10 years, and I've been in some independent films, and I just was like, you know what? If I really want to do the impact that I want, I have to be at the level that everybody else is watching film at. So I say, you know, a lot of saving, a lot of friends, a lot of help, and a couple loans. You know how it is. The first is movie one. You gotta get creative. I'll be honest with you. I cut a lot of corners due to my relationships. Your network is your network. You know what I mean? You got some friends with some nice hotels, some condos. You got a friend that's the manager of a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I need a favor. You know, as an independent, don't be afraid to use your network. You know, that's what I did. I got creative, and I made sure, based on my film background, that the production value was there, because I didn't want to take away from the message by having a crappy movie. I want the message to be good, and you call it edutainment. That's what we call it. We like to educate you while we're entertaining you.
Well, I definitely came across in regards to what I saw and just the overall feeling and the experience of watching it. What do you want your audience, what do you want our audience, our guests at home to know and to get from your movie?
I want them to take a look at human trafficking in a different light. We as African Americans don't think it's happening in our communities, and it's not just pimping. Sometimes people do get kidnapped. There's organ, you know, people are killing us at a high rate, and sometimes taking, you know, body parts. It's just a rabbit hole. So educate yourself on human trafficking. At the end of the day, I am an entertainer, so it's a fun movie. I didn't talk about my car, but there's some science fiction in the movie, so you'll be entertained. We have a little jokes in there, you know, and so I want
Speak
you to
about that. The thing was talking to you said
again, me being a filmmaker, I wanted to do. We got the same bang bang shoot 'em up movies. I said, you know what? Let's throw some science fiction in there. As a writer, you can fly if you want to. You can do anything you want when you're writing. So I wanted to put show that we're deep thinkers and we can make really high end movies. And so I put that science fiction in there. And actually, we're going to turn Meet the Snows into a 10 episode series. That'll be coming out in 2024, 25-ish. So it's got greenlit to actually turn into a series.
Well, you know what? Tell us about your other projects and how people can get in contact with you or see, you know, what you got out there.
But right now, if you want to meet me or stay in contact with me, you go to my Instagram or Meet the Snows. Meet the Snows, everything. If you want to find me, it's always Meet the Snows as of right now. My personal page is Ronald Taylor _official Ron Taylor or Meezy Numbers. But just look me up on Meet the Snows. That's the best way to reach out to me. As far as new projects, in 2024, the first part of the year, we're going to be doing auditions for an MMA movie. We're going to stay in the action lane. I'm an action guy. So we got an action movie that we're going to be casting for. It's going to be on all my social media platforms. So it'll be on the Meet the Snows platform. And it's exciting times. I'm really excited to go to movie 2. It's another movement piece. Even though it's an action movie, the theme behind it is put the guns down. We're going to be a fight movie, but we need to stop killing each other. Guys are punks these days. They're scared to get their ass whooped. I hate to say it on your network without cursing, but guys are just scared. So this movie it's a fight movie, but the theme behind it is to put the guns down. So that's what we're going to be doing in the future.
Well, I thank you for your time, Ron. I enjoy talking to you, but more importantly, I'm going to enjoy watching more of your projects, more of your vision, and I'm coming to see you. All right, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard Ron Taylor, Meet the Snows. Check him out.
I want to come back on your show when we do the next, the next movie.
Let's make it happen, my man. Thank you so much, Ron. Thank you, family and friends. Thank you, audience, for watching.
Meet the Snows.
Bye-bye.
You gotta have that. F-A-S-A-I-T-H. 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 We walk by faith and not by sight.